Hey, it's Bob Baker here. I want to take a few minutes just to talk to you about tuning up your website. As I record this, it's springtime, at least here in my hometown of St. Louis, Missouri. But in springtime, there's this thing known as the spring cleanup. It's when the sun comes out. It's time to sweep out the garage or throw away old stuff or whatever, and kind of get a fresh start on summer. It's also a good time of the year to take a fresh look at your website and maybe clean up some stuff that has gotten a little outdated. Because I'm sure you've done this. I know I have. Like, you'd redesign your website, or you spend a lot of time beefing it up and making it current and all this stuff, and then you kind of let it sit there. I mean, you might be adding blog posts and certain content to it, but some of the more static pages you may not have looked at for a while. And I bet you if you go back and take a closer look with fresh eyes, you'll realize, oh geez, that's like outdated information. That's like from 2 or 3 years ago. When it comes to this, I am guilty as charged. So here are a few tips, a few things in particular that you should look at on your website. I'll also maybe touch on your social media profiles too. But let's start with the website. Number one is your about page, or maybe your bio page, and hopefully you have one. This is where people will go to find out more about you and your background and your story, and whether you're a musician or an author or whatever you do in the world. It tells people who you are. You shouldn't use your home page to go into your entire life story. Just give them sort of the nuts and bolts, the benefits, what's in it for them on your website, but you take them to the about or bio page to learn more specifically about you. And quite often that stuff gets outdated. So take a look at your about page. Here's a little tip. It's actually a mistake that I see a lot of people make. Like when you're in the process of writing an about page, you might be writing something like, for the past 20 years I've been doing this or that, or for 3 years I've been a full-time blah blah blah. And so you're writing that from the perspective of where you are at the time that you're writing it. But what about when a year or two goes by? You've actually been doing it for 4 or 5 years or 22 years or whatever the case may be. So I would suggest using dates, like specific years, like since 1996 I've been doing so-and-so, or since 2007 so that way it stays current no matter when they're reading it in the future, as opposed to for the past 3 years. I think you know what I mean. So look at your bio, your about page, freshen it up, make sure it's current and it reflects what you're up to now in addition to your background. Another thing to look at is the copyright date. A lot of websites have the copyright date usually at the bottom or something. Now, there are some sites, like I know with WordPress, it automatically updates, but a lot of times you have to manually do that. At least on some of my old websites, I had to go in and manually update that, hopefully in one place so it updates on every page throughout the site. But if your site says, copyright 2006, even though it's going to seem like it's old, even though you may have been adding fresh content to it all along. So make sure those copyright notices are clear. And you can also put a range of years, like whenever let's say you started your website in 2011. And so as I record this in 2014, you might put 2011-2014, your name, and so on and so forth. But you want to keep it current. Another thing you want to look at on your website to keep fresh is your product offerings, whether that's music, albums, or books or services that you provide. Take a look at that. Is that still stuff that is fresh? Is your newest title or offering at the top of the list or prominently displayed there? Is there something? I do this all the time. I'll look at my stuff and I go, man, I really am not promoting that much. It's getting a little outdated, so I remove it. And so make sure that you're focusing on the hottest things that you're offering, the most current. Start with the things that you really want people to know about at the top, and then kind of go down from there. You don't want to ignore your back catalog, as they call it in the book and the music business. If you're still actively selling stuff, I mean, list it on that page. But if it's outdated, or you're not really promoting it, or you're kind of unsure of whether it's still current, you might want to remove it, or maybe do a spring cleaning on that product and make it more current and re-release it. So your product or sales page is crucial. Another thing you want to take a look at is the stuff that's in your sidebar. Quite often, your website is laid out, especially when you're viewing on a laptop or a desktop. There's the main body copy, and then either to the right or the left there's a sidebar column, and that's a great place to list like important links and things that you want people to focus on, a new promotion that you're doing. So take a look at that sidebar stuff. And do you really need that? All those widgets and the Facebook and the Twitter feeds and all that, reevaluate what you really want on that. Don't crowd it up with so much stuff that's going to confuse people, but really ask yourself, what are your priorities? What do you want people to do when they visit your website? Make sure that sidebar content is reflective of that. Couple other quick things. How about your download freebie? Hopefully you are building an email list. This is crucial even today when open rates are as low as they've ever been. You still need to have a way to connect with your fans and your customers directly. So you should be building an email list, and you should be offering an incentive, some freebie that people are getting when they sign up on your list. So is that thing still current? Is that report or that audio or that video that you're offering still reflect, your current best stuff? If not, you might want to update the stuff that you're giving away. And then make sure that's noted in the graphic or the page where they sign up to get the free download and get on your email list. Another thing, this is only for people that are offering like digital downloads. Do you have like a download page where maybe your shopping cart or whatever automatically sends people to a download page? Quite often, like, there's another offer on there, which is a really smart thing. They go to this page to download the thing they just purchased or the thing they signed up for to get for free. And while you're there, you make another offer to them about something cool that they might purchase or whatever. Go back and check those, because they may be offering an outdated product or something you no longer offer. So you can update those with your most current listings. And just to wrap this up, you can do the same thing on all your social media profiles. I mean, it seems like every other month, whether it's YouTube or LinkedIn or whatever, they're changing their profiles layout, the things that you can do, and the photos and the images and the cover photo and your profile picture and all this. So you want to return to these on a regular basis to make sure you're making the best use of their current profile format. But also check the about pages on like Google Plus and other, LinkedIn and all that. Is it reflecting who you are currently? Do you have your most current projects and positions and albums, books, so on listed there? This is a great time of the year, whether it's spring or not. Actually, any time of the year is a good time, if it's been a while, to go back and take a fresh look at your website and all your social media profiles and do a little tune-up. I hope these tips have been helpful. Did I miss something? Do you want to add something to what I said here? I would love it if you commented. If you're watching on YouTube, you can do that below the video. If you're on one of my websites, there should be a comment feature on the page somewhere. And also subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're watching it there. Get on my email list if you're watching this on one of my sites. I want to interact with you. I want to stay in touch. And so do those things. Comment and subscribe. All right, thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful. I will catch you real soon down the road. This is Bob Baker saying so long for now.